up, everybody? My name is T Large. I am the host of Small Talkin with the Larges, usually with my wife, Ashley. She's usually on the show with me. It's kind of our vibe. But today, Miss Ash chose to hop behind the camera and executive produce. Everybody wave to Miss Ash.
Hey, Miss Ash.
She chose to step behind the camera and executive produce today while my children hopped on the show as part of Father's Day. This was you guys' part of your Father's Day gift to me. Yes. Was you guys coming on and knocking out an episode. So this is our vibe, our lane. And I love it and I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to the other Father's Day gifts, but y'all came out the gate hot. This is a home run today. So welcome to the show. So real quick, why don't we do that from the top? Why don't we introduce you guys, give us your name, give us your age, and give us maybe your dad nickname from me, the nickname that I gave you. We can kind of kick it off like that.
Okay.
My name's Kaden Janelle. I'm 13, and my dad's nickname for me is Baber.
Baber,
Yeah.
Daddy's
Baber.
baby, Daddy's baby. There we go.
My name is Maya Noel. I'm 18, and I go by Peachy Baby or Big Peach. Y'all
Big
know.
Peach.
Big Peach.
Never the little
Big
one.
Peach.
Never the little one.
Big Peach, Peachy baby.
I'm Tyler. I'm 15, and my nickname from Dad is Sun because I'm his sunshine.
You my sunshine.
Yes,
That's it.
sunshine.
Don't ever play yourself. You my sunshine.
All right.
Yes, you my everything. Yes.
Yeah.
And when you really think about it, when you my son, you don't really need another name, okay? You my son.
Y'all see how we didn't get this kind of attention?
Yeah.
He just-
Y'all did. All right, so cool. So we got the nicknames. All right, so hey, extra credit if you know where your nickname came from, especially for the girls. Tyler, we just took care of. Okay. You my son. That was gonna be it. But for the girls, what's the origination of your nickname?
So for mine, the peach came from, apparently I had like peach fuzz on like the side of my face and like on top of my head or something like that. So I think that's where it originated from.
Yeah, for real. Like when you were a baby, very peach complected, and also the little peach fuzz all over your little face, your little skin. And so you were my little peach. The thing that I hate about that nickname is you grew up not liking peaches.
Yeah,
I love peaches.
Yeah, you love the nickname. You love the nickname, but you don't like the fruit.
Does not like the fruit.
Does not like the fruit. So whack. So whack.
Yeah. I think from you telling me, so like me and Miss Ash like needed something like different, because you would say like baby, stuff like that. So like you would call Miss Ash like baby and stuff like that. So I needed one, so you just like switched it to Baber.
Yeah,
So,
very.
yeah.
Nothing super deep to it. Miss Ash was a little, I want to be baby. I want to be your sweetie and your baby. And so I just had to pivot just a little bit, baby, because you are the youngest. You forever my baby, daddy's baby. But I had to tweak it just a little bit. So yeah, so that's everybody's nickname.
Yes.
Yeah.
So why don't we talk about the family dynamic real quick?
We can.
Been co-parenting with your mothers for a long time. You know what? Let's do a mom shout out real quick, so that way we can kind of get to know who's who.
Okay.
So Maya and Tyler, I'll let y'all take it and maybe say hey to mom and
Hey mom, shout out to
Mom,
Latasha
shout out to
Watkins.
you.
You know
love
she's
you,
probably
we
watching
miss
this.
you.
We love you a lot right now, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, just go ahead and tune in.
Yeah.
So Maya and Tyler have the same mother.
Yes.
Yep. And then Kata.
Hey Mom. Oh yeah. I hope you're doing good. But yeah, and I'll see you. Shout out to you.
Yeah. So Maya and Tyler have the same mother, and then Kaden, her mother as well, or whatever. So share the dad. I am him.
I am.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just in case we were wondering. So y'all wrote some questions down.
Yes.
We did.
Yeah.
We
Right.
did.
And so we're going to do a little question and answer series from you guys to me. And then maybe I might sneak in a question or two to you guys.
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
we'll go that
Okay.
route.
All right.
All right. So we'll start with Tyler. We'll start with my son. Pick one of your questions and fire away, son.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. My first question is, have you always been a social and people person, or did you develop it over time?
Oh, okay. Good question.
Yeah,
Good question. I've always been big personality, super social, all of the things like that. That's kind of who I am. I do have my moments where I do kind of turn loner, turn rogue, or whatever. I kind of like being the type of person that walks in a room and knows people and things like that. And the good thing about Huntsville, as opposed to maybe much larger cities, is you can kind of be that person here. And so here in my city, Huntsville, Alabama, I have that type of personality. I'm comfortable going anywhere, comfortable doing anything. I'm going to know somebody or know somebody that knows somebody when I show up. So, but I've always been super social, always had a big personality.
Yeah, viewers, every time we leave this house, Dad knows somebody. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like we could go literally to Publix and Dad will know someone in the store. It's
I thought
crazy.
it was coincidence.
Yeah, I thought it was coincidence at first, but I was like, every time, even when we went out of town, we would literally go to like Atlanta or anywhere, and Dad would somehow just stumble upon somebody
like,
that he
bro?
knows.
And I'm just like,
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What up, bro?
Like anyone.
Yeah, so awesome. So great question. Have always been super social. Yeah, for sure. All right. Baber, you're next.
Okay. My question is, so like originally before you had kids, how many did you want?
I always wanted, probably 3 or 4. Yeah, I always wanted 3 or 4. I grew up in a household of 4, for the years that my parents were together. My dad and stepmom were together. So there was kind of, 4 kids. I like the dynamic of 4. And so, obviously y'all have an older sister, Layla, who lives in Indianapolis with her mother. And so, yeah, so 4 was kind of always on my radar. I think that's a good number.
Yeah.
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 That was a good question, Kaden. I like
Thank
that.
you.
Peachy, baby.
all right. What is the importance of or differences of a father-son bond versus a father-daughter bond?
Ooh.
Okay. All right. The differences in a father-son bond and a father-daughter bond. The father-son bond, you've got to train your son to go lead his own home one day. And not to say you girls won't, because you may just have to be the head of the household, lead your home, and all those sorts of things. But there's a little bit of a different pressure sending a young black male off into the world. It just feels a little bit different. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe it shouldn't even be different, but it feels a little bit different raising an African-American son, raising a young man, training up a young man, being respectful to women, learning how to build a life for himself, learning how to be a provider, a protector, things like that. So there are days I'm probably a little tougher on Tyler. There are days where the expectations rise for Tyler in different moments and things like that. I pull him along for different things. Some of that is chivalry related because I want him to get older. I want him to be the type of guy that opens doors for not only his sisters or his bonus mom or his mother, but also the elderly lady that he sees in the grocery store or whoever he chooses to date one day and things like that. So there's a lot that you have to impart into a young man along the journey. For your daughters, you align yourself to become more protective of your little girls because you want them to be safe. You want them to feel protected. You want them to feel taken care of and some of those types of things. So while I need to put some of the other energy in you guys too, because your life may chart that way where you're on your own and you're not married or you don't have a husband or any type of situation you're in. But somehow you feel the roles of just kind of protecting and cozying in your daughters and shielding them from things and things of that nature. So it's a little bit of a dynamic shift, imparting all things in your children because you don't know where it's going to go. But, you kind of do put certain gems in your son that maybe you don't in your daughters and put certain things in your daughters maybe that you don't in your son. So that's kind of the way I try to think about it.
Yeah,
Good
I understand that.
answer.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was
Thank you.
That was a really good answer.
All right, so everybody's fired off one question. How you guys feeling so far?
I feel good. These are
We're
really
good.
responses.
We're good.
I think we all had really creative and out of the box questions.
Okay. All right, cool. So let's roll right. Let's keep it rolling. Let's do another question. Let's do, this time we'll start with Peach.
Okay. What steps did you take to being a successful father?
Ooh.
Oh, wow. What steps did I take to be a successful father? I had to, I had to take some really hard looks in the mirror about myself.
Okay.
I did not start off at the level of dad I'm at now. You guys know, it's been a 10-year journey for me. So Peach, if you're 18, that means the first 8, I really wasn't the guy that I was supposed to be. I really wasn't working as hard as I should have, things like that. For me, I started off, just being totally honest, I always spent time with you guys, always pulled up for time, but I didn't always kick in financially at the level I should have. And credit to your mothers for sitting me down and, you know, saying, hey, like the I don't have it call, like, means that we have to have it. But the only way you say you don't have it is because you think we're going to pick up the slack or things like that. And, you know, like that's a lame way of thinking. Now, there is some partnership, and your mothers and I have a great partnership. There's times where your mothers haven't had and I've helped. There's times that I haven't had, they've helped. But generally speaking, in that early stage, especially for your first few years, not being the level of dad that I should, financially, maybe not kicking in enough on some of those things, was probably my biggest failure. And eventually I had to just look myself in the mirror and say, hey man, like kids cost too. Right. And you got to kick in, you got to pull your weight on that side of the coin too. It's not up to your exes to cover the slack all the time and things like that. You got to pull the weight there. And the biggest thing for me is once I started doing that, my money doubled, my money tripled. When I started being a better dad and helping out in those areas consistently, paying my weeks of daycare every time, or helping out with co-pays and doctor's visits, all of those type of things, my money, God began blessing me more and more. And I always had a little extra, more came in, you know, whereas I think in the beginning I was protective over what I had, like, ooh, I'm down to my last XYZ, I better see if your mother has it because I don't have it type energy. But once I started doing, the blessings started coming. So I think that, you know, that's kind of, maybe that's the way I want to answer that, is just stepping up to the plate, being a better dad, and then watching the blessings come in.
That's nice.
Yeah. Next up, Baber, we'll go with you.
Okay. Like as a child, what traits like did you have back then that you think you passed to us?
Nice.
Okay, so what are some of my traits? Is that, can I tweak, like in general? Can I do that? Can I do, okay, yeah. So what are some of my traits that I think you all have? Great, that's an excellent question. Let's see here. Wow, gosh, I've got to think about this one. Tyler, you are, all three of you guys love and care about the people that are in your circle. You know, Peach, some of the obvious things with you, you kind of love having an audience. I think about you during softball. You know, you were not the greatest player out there. You didn't work hard on the field too often. In the later years you did, but in the beginning, no. But you loved having an audience. And I'm very much like that. I enjoy having an audience. I enjoy having people tuning in. Even this podcast, the fact that I know people are going to watch, you know, that's a thing. I enjoy having a cast, a crew, an audience, things like that. So I enjoy having family around just like you do. So that's big. Tyler, for you, I often look at, you're very observant, which I'm not the most observant person in the world, but I love how observant you are. And I also love your quick wit. And now that your personality is blossoming, Tyler, you're really quick-witted, and I know I'm quick-witted. Quick with a little joke, quick with a little razzle-dazzle. And here lately, you've kind of been on that, so I've really enjoyed that about you as well, just to watch that kind of come up about. And also the things that are interesting to you, you dive in really hard. And that's also the way I am. The things that are of interest to me, I dive in kind of head first. So I love that about you. Baber, let me think about with you. The love of music. Maya, all three of y'all love music, but Caden can memorize a song in a second, very much like I can, right after you hear it, you know. So songs like that. Caden will run one song into the ground like I will. So we have a shared love of music, a shared love of certain foods we like and little things like that, smoothies and just all the little things, the little trinkets and things like that, that about you, Caden, that you and I cross paths over. So, yeah. The girls got my love of sneakers. So, Tyler, not as much, but you're coming along here lately. So, but the girls, that bug bit you guys early as well. So cool. So, we're 2 questions in, right?
Yes.
2 questions in. Why don't we pause for the cause? We'll take a sip of water. We'll take a quick commercial break, and then we'll come right back and we'll dive into question number 3, and maybe I'll hit you guys with a question. Is that good?
Yeah.
All right, so everybody throw some love to the camera, and we'll break for a second and come back. We're back, right back. Come right back.
Yeah.
We're back. We weren't back yet. Now we're back.
Now we're back.
We're back. We're back.
Definitely had not pressed record yet. Anyway, all right, so we're back. Welcome back to Small Talkin with the Larges. I am your host, T. Large. Usually my wife is on set, but she chose to executive produce this episode while the children are here for our Father's Day episode.
Yes.
So, so we are up for round 3 questions, right?
We are?
We're finishing round 2.
Hold
I
on.
never got to his question.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Let me.
Oh, we're down.
Okay.
We're short a question.
Oh, okay.
Look at Roddy tearing up that water bowl.
Yep.
All right, so to finish round 2, Tyler's got to come through with a question.
Yes.
All right, Big Ty.
Okay,
Go ahead, son.
For my second question, my question is, where did your love for clothes and shoes originate from? Like, where did it, was it something you always just kind of liked your clothes and shoes a certain way, or did it just, where did it come from?
Yeah, so for me, all right, so let me think about this one because this is great. The first kid that I ever knew that was like fresh was my cousin Damon, Aunt Nancy's son. Yeah, I know cousin Damon. So,
Yes.
when I would see him in the summertime or see him Christmas or whenever, Aunt Nancy kept cousin Damon the flyest, the freshest kid. He always had on the J's, always had on something cool. I don't know, and maybe it was Aunt Nancy, maybe it was, somebody else on Damon's side of the family, but I know whenever I saw my cousin, he was killing it. And so he was the first person I was like, oh, there's different levels of clothing, because I don't have what he got on. And so then I got a little older, and by the time I got to probably 5th or 6th grade, there was a kid in middle school, Justin Owens. Another thing, the freshest kid in school, always had the flyest starter jacket in the 90s, always had the dopest pair of kicks and things like that. And so I started watching and started like, man, I like those, but I didn't have those. And I had little pairs. I'm not going to act like my parents didn't keep me fresh because they did. But I didn't have the volume that those kids had, but I had the love, and the love was growing. Then I got a little bit older, and the streetwear bug bit me. I wanted to dress with some of the clothing and some of the pieces that other kids didn't wear. So whether I was in, teenage years, I went through my Echo, my FUBU stage, and all of that type of stuff. Got to college and went hard with some of those labels, some of those brands, and things like that. And so it just kind of was born from there. Always had a love for sneakers. Fell in love with Air Maxes. I've got a ton of stories about my love of Air Maxes over the years, but I give a lot of credit to my cousin Damon and then Justin Owens for helping me see stuff as a kid that I was like, oh, those are really dope. And then I started exploring and learning about the streetwear lane and learning about sneakers, and it just took over my life. So yeah, but the gear, the streetwear and the sneakers were my first love, especially sneakers. Sneakers were my first love. The Air Max 1 was probably the first thing that I ever fell in love with, so to speak. So I love you guys way more. But,
We love you too.
but it's up there.
Okay.
All right, but great question, son. Awesome, great. And like I said, Dad had his store for a little bit and all the things. So it was a good life. All right, so round 3 questions. Fire away. Who's got one? Whoever wants to go this round.
I'll take over.
Huh?
Yeah. Cause
I gotta ask them a question. Oh, look at the executive producer chiming in from the back. All right, so let's, here's a question for you guys. What is something that Dad does right? What is something that I'm good at? What is something that you guys love about me?
I mean, y'all want me to go? I can go. Okay. So what I love about you, Dad, is I know your dedication to us, like how you were talking about earlier, how you really had to step it up. And we've definitely seen that over the last few years of our life. Like, we've really seen a big improvement on your dedication, to making your and our lives better. Like, you really started, you really took ownership of it.
Okay.
And I'm just like really proud, and I love that you put in the work and put in the time to get us to where we all are now.
Oh, love that. Thank you. Thank you so much, son. Thank you. Thank you.
For me, I think one of the things that I admire about you is just like kind of like Tar said, just like how you pour into us and that you always set time out specifically for each of us to like bond with us, talk to us about something, and just have these deep talks and good moments that we're going to need when we grow up. And I just like the way that you pour into us so we can pour back into you. So I just love that about our connection, our relationship.
Okay, nice.
Oh, one thing I like the advice that you give. Like, even though, like, I guess it could be frustrating or something, like, it's just, like, at the end of the day, it's just, like, good advice to hear.
Yeah.
And just, like, y'all were saying, like, you love to, like, make time for us, and you just want to, like, go somewhere, like, if it's, like, with me just going to, like, Smoothie King or something, like you just love to hang out with us. And
Yeah.
that's, like, a good thing to have.
Yeah, like how Kaden was saying, like you really do like love hanging out with us.
Yes.
Like I've noticed it recently. Well, not recently, but like I've like really, it's really like I've been able to see it.
Yeah.
Like I can see how like you really do like love to hang out and be around us.
Yeah.
It's not like we're just, not only your kids, but like your best
Yeah,
friends.
like we're like
And,
your
you
best
see
friend.
that.
For
Like,
sure.
Yeah.
1,000,000%. And that's exactly how I want you guys to feel, because I enjoy our time together. And the big thing for me is I want to be in your memories when you get older. When you guys are going to get older, you'll think about a sweet spot in your childhood. That's how adults do. You think about like a sweet spot in your childhood. And I know you guys are going to have a ton of memories from doing things with your mom and quality time with mom and things like that. But I also want you guys to remember the years with me as well. And I want to be able to have you guys have memories that pull from quality time with dad, whether it's vacations, whether it's hanging out around the house, because those are, you'll be in a moment and you'll be able to share something. And I want to be able to, even though I may not be in the room at the time, I may not be around at the time, I want to know that I've done enough, I've developed enough relationship with my children, and you guys love the life that we have together enough to call and recall memories from your time with me as well as important. So that's huge, and so I'm thankful. Look at Axel, he is losing his mind down there. He's going crazy.
Okay.
He's doing the little itch thing.
Yeah, I wish
where
y'all
he's
could
like,
see it.
Yeah,
Wow.
he does it
I don't know
all
if
the
it's gonna show up
time.
on camera, but he's like wilding right now. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
he just like,
Look back at the camera.
Let's see here. What are okay, I asked you guys, what do you guys enjoy about dad? I'm afraid to ask y'all what I need to get better at. I'm like nervous because y'all will trash me on camera. But what do you enjoy about the co-parenting? We do week on, week off co-parenting. So we swap houses on Mondays. So every Monday, it swaps houses.
Yes.
Was how do you guys feel about it? How did you feel about it? Was there ever a time where you hated the switch, or were there ever some time where it just got annoying or something like that? Or tell me about your feelings with the rotating 1 week on, 1 week off and things like that. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm like good with it because like I guess like in the beginning, yeah, it could have been hard, but like by now, like it's very normal. Like yeah, like I'm not hurt by it, and it's not annoying to me or anything. So yeah, I mean, I think it's good. Like as long as I can see like both of y'all, like yeah, it's just fair and stuff. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I think there was not ever a time when I hated the co-parenting. I think it was just like a big adjustment at first, but I feel like whenever you change your perspective and you look at it with a different set of lens, you'll really just grow to love it. And both houses have something to offer, so it's just about what you take away and what you put into it.
Sure.
For me, I love it now. I think before it was a little bit difficult for me because, I was used to, dad and mom being in the same house and being together. So, I guess whenever I first started, I was having trouble, kind of just getting used to the whole changing houses, like seeing one parent one week and seeing the other parent the other week.
Unpacking everything.
Yeah, like unpacking and repacking, and at first it was a lot, but now it's just kind of like the normal. And I got comfortable with Miss Ash, and I got comfortable with Mr. Travis. So it's like now it's just like the normal, and I love it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Do you feel like dad and mom, or dad and your mothers, are better people now? I'm not gonna say better people apart, but like
Better versions.
better versions is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. And that's interesting. As you guys get older and get in relationships and things like that, and you'll realize that you can't be who you should be if you're aligned with the wrong person. And I don't ever want to say either of your mothers were the wrong person, because that's not what I'm trying to say by any means. But there's something to be said about somebody being in your life for a season or a reason, and then somebody being your forever person.
Right.
And one of the things that I've talked to you guys about is learning the lessons that I've learned from being with both of your mothers, who are fantastic, dynamic, unbelievable women. Just not necessarily my person. And I don't think I was their person either. And I think that looking at both of their lives post me and the areas that they've grown in and who they are and who they've become, I think that speaks to that. And also who I've become. There's something to be said. And these are life lessons that you guys are going to learn when you get a little older and you begin dating people. Sometimes they can be the right person just for a chapter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're not with you for the whole book. They're not with you for 7 chapters. They're with you for a chapter of your life, and you can do some remarkable things. And I'm so blessed to co-parent with them. They're phenomenal women. But I'm very fortunate that I found Miss Ash, who I feel like is my forever person, and brought out certain things in me that nobody else could. And I also feel like, who your mother's with now has done tremendous things in her life and has sent her life in a direction that it needed to go and things like that. So there's a lot to that, something to think about. But I'm thankful that you guys have always listened, and it's always kind of made sense to you guys. And when you get older, it's going to make so much more sense. But I am thankful that you guys have kind of received that thus far.
Of course.
And to your little question that you asked like before, I feel like for you, Miss Ash really just gave you that. I feel like she gave you a bit of confidence in yourself.
Like,
because whenever she came in, like, I feel like we definitely saw a boost in your confidence, and like you can do it. Like you can really be the dad that you really want to be, and that you're gonna make it. And I feel like Miss Ash simply like gave you some confidence and like gave you like some organization, like some more skills
for sure.
So then that helped you. And then with mom, I think Mr. Travis just gives he just like expands her more than she is like usually on her own.
Love that.
He definitely like gets her like outside and like really like gets like the world to see her personality.
Oh, love that.
I think
That's awesome.
Tyler explained it well. They just the whole co-parenting thing as a whole just brings out better versions, and I'm just glad that we were along the ride to just see that.
Thank you. Love that. Thank you. All right, so let's dive into round 3 question.
Yep.
Yes, round 3.
Who's got? All right, Tyler, we're back to you. Who? Can you? You haven't led around. Yeah.
Is this the last one?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Last?
I think so. We'll see where we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're having fun.
Okay. Well, I won. People always say that I look like Layla. So how are you feeling or dealing with the Layla situation right now?
Wow. Gosh.
Deep question.
So, man. The Layla question. Gosh. I didn't know if y'all were going to go there or not. But I can handle it. I'm big enough for this moment. Let me first and foremost say that I love Layla. I can't even put it into words how much she means to me. To be my oldest child, to be on her own, to be in college playing basketball, and just all the things. There's never a day that I don't think about her. There's never a day that I don't think about her. Like I said, Caden, you look so much like her in pictures and things like that. There's never a day that I don't think about the mistakes that I made. There's never a day where I don't think about, did I make the right decision? I was young, I was immature and I didn't know. I went back to Indianapolis for a little bit, but it just didn't feel like home anymore. Huntsville felt like home. And I went back home, and, you know, me and her mother were never in a relationship. We were never, you know, I've known her mother since my childhood days, but it was just a fluke. It wasn't planned. It wasn't discussed. It was a fluke. You know, hey, Travis, I'm pregnant. And so she wanted me to come back and co-parent. I went back for a quick second, but it just didn't feel like home. It didn't feel right. And so I told her that I was going to go back to Huntsville, but I would try to co-parent. I would be the best I could. And I just didn't do a good job of it those early years. I tried to come back home and visit, tried to come hang out, but I just didn't, you know, I wasn't making enough money. I was making $10 or $11 an hour at the time, had my own apartment, all the little things, and I just didn't do a good job. And then it blew up in my face, you know, like her mother just decided that, hey, we're moving on. I'm laser focused on being a mom up here, and if you're not going to be consistent, I'm moving and grooving. And then her mother got married, and they built a beautiful life together. And I miss Layla. I want to be in her life. Nothing would make me happier than for her to pick up the phone or to reach out to me on social media and let's fix this thing. You know, and I try to be a good dad to you guys and pay back that situation as every day, and that's just it. I hate it. There's a hole in my heart. Nothing could replace the hole in my heart. I failed, and so it's just hard.
And
That's just
Layla,
it.
if you're watching, we really miss you.
Love you a lot.
And we've seen your photos like on Instagram and stuff, and you look really
Very
pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're really pretty. And I just hope that your life is honestly going well. And yeah, we miss you.
We miss you tremendously. We pray for you every day. We love you tremendously, and we would love to reconnect. And it's we don't have to talk about the past. We can just pick up right here, right now. So that's that. I appreciate you guys for that. That means a lot. I was trying not to cry. What else you got? You got another question? Who else? Yeah, anybody?
It's me and Maya.
All right. What is the most challenging part about co-parenting, and what advice can you give to future co-parenting dads or even moms, just co-parenting in general?
Yeah, the challenging part of co-parenting is just all of it, man. Like, you've got to juggle your life with a whole nother person that you're no longer with. And the thing is, you got to be committed to it every day, every single day. Me and your mothers, you know, like, we may have an argument via phone call or text message or anything, and then 2 days later we gotta chart our way back because we have to do this thing together. Me and your mothers, the three of us sat down together and we said we were gonna figure this thing out together. And we did, and we've done just that. And it hasn't been perfect on their part or mine, but the three of us have done this thing together all the way through. And it's the most thing that I'm most proud about in my life, that I have been on this journey, because, you know, both of your mothers have had their highs, their lows with me and with other people. And we've had to navigate through that and still parent through that. And so I appreciate them, but it's a lot. And then for others, I would tell people this, and this is what I tell when all the young homies hit my line and ask me about, "T, give me some co-parenting advice." I say two things. One, get out their head. Two, get out their bed. If you still messing around with your baby mama on the low, it ain't gonna work. You can't be an effective dad and you still hopping in the sheets with your ex. And the get out the head part is you can't play mind games with them either. That mind game stuff is whack. So the first thing when anybody calls me on some co-parenting advice or some dad advice or anything like that, I ask them, I say, as it relates to your ex, are you still playing mind games, or are you still hopping in and out the sheets with them? Because if you're doing that, you on some stuff that I'm just not on, and I can't really help you. It doesn't really start until you drop those things and you just go insanely committed to your child. Being a dad and no longer being with the mom doesn't mean that you still get to sleep with her every now and then. Doesn't mean that you still get to play mind games with her and get upset when she tries to go on a date with somebody and all of that type of stuff. You got to bury all of that in order to be the best dad that you can be. And so that's my initial advice. Once you do that, you can do anything on this journey. But you gotta stop there. It starts with those two things, and then the step number 3 is two people have to want to parent together, right, no matter what, And that's the thing with me and your mother. They want to parent with me. I want to parent with them. They've got their opinions on me as a boyfriend, as a husband, for your mother, Caden, as a former boyfriend for your mother. All that they have tons of opinions on me as that. But they have a separate opinion on me as a dad. And that's the only one that matters now. Mm-hmm. And I've told both of your mothers I'm never going to fail them as a dad. Terrible boyfriend, terrible husband, bad guy. But as a dad, I'm never going to fail you. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of my strategy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and it's my question. So this is my last question. Okay. This one is a bit of a dark one, but...
Heavy, not dark. Heavy.
Not heavy, not dark. Heavy. Did you ever consider giving us up to our moms permanently, like in the past somewhere? Did you ever just think that you just couldn't, you just couldn't do it?
Nah, no way. And this one's not as heavy as I thought, man. This is easy. No, never. And I'll tell y'all why. Granddad never gave me up. And Aunt Tracy, my mother passed away when I was 4, right? Mm-hmm. Aunt Tracy, my sister, was 10 months old, and before my mother died of cancer, before she passed, she asked my dad to promise her that you're gonna raise Tracy and Travis. I have 2 older siblings. My mother had 2 kids when she met my dad. And, my brother went off to the Army. My sister went and lived with my grandmother and things like that. She was already a teenager, but I was 4 years old. And Tracy was 10 months. And my dad had to figure out how to be a dad. And in that era, 1985, 86, he easily could have gave me up to either one of the grandmothers. Anybody would have taken us. They wanted to. But my dad was like, man, I made her a promise. And so on that strength alone, I was never going to not be a dad to you guys. Yeah. Never, 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 never. I'm going to show up every single day. I'm going to be involved. I'm going to do everything I can, especially when you factor in the Layla situation and how when I chose not to move to Indianapolis, that situation went down south really fast and I got cut off and they kind of moved on without me. There's nothing I can do about that. I'm 6 hours away. They made a decision to move on without me after I kind of failed in the beginning or whatever. And so I respect their decision. I'm here and I want to be Layla's dad. Literally any minute she's ready, I'm ready. But as it relates to you 3, I'm every day. I'm in the way. I'm in the way. I'm gonna be dad of the year every year for you guys all the way through. Because my dad was dad of the year for me. And Granddad has told y'all this 100 times that I'm a much better dad than he was. And while I don't agree with that, I look at the fact that my dad didn't give me up, so I have to be there for you guys. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of my philosophy on that. Man, this was fun.
Yeah,
it was fun. Yeah,
this was good.
Hearing your opinions and whatnot.
Yeah.
What do y'all feel? Let's talk about our executive producer, Miss Ash, for a second. What did adding Miss Ash to our lives 7 years ago? Where do you feel like she contributed? She added value to what we have as a crew, because we were a crew of 4, and then we brought her in. So where do you feel like, maybe just one by one, where did your life improve when Miss Ash entered the picture to now?
She gave me more confidence and more organization.
Okay.
And I'm really thankful for that, because she's very helpful in things, and she helped me to become a better teen and girl that I am. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Okay, love that.
I think when it was just us and we had our 4 time, I just kind of always felt like there was going to be that missing piece, and it was going to be someone coming along, and I'm just happy and glad that it was Miss Ash, and she really does fit to our now known 5 time, and she just gives us all a little something that adds value and that we can have in this world, honestly, with her bonus edition.
Yeah. Okay, give me something specific, though. That was
Oh, I'm
broad.
sorry.
Give me something Maya specific. How does she bless your life over the last 7 years? What value has she added to your life specifically?
She's added just, I feel like, an extra leap of support and just somebody to talk to, somebody that I'm comfortable with, somebody I can just tell, like, really anything, and she'll always be honest with me, like, woman to woman, and give me her best thought or her 2 cents, and really just give me her best advice so I can put my best foot forward as a woman.
Would you say that there are some secrets that you and Miss Ash share that I don't know about?
Yes, maybe. Maybe not.
Yes,
Who knows,
Peter.
guys? Tune in next episode.
For
We'll
all-
talk about it.
Okay, all right. So, yeah, we'll talk about this off camera. Tyler, what about you? Where has Miss Ash really come in and kind of contributed and blessed your life?
She contributed and blessed my life in, I think, stability, I'll say. I mean, like, I'm stable, but, you know, I think she definitely gave me, like, I just feel, I think I feel more in tune with myself, and I really know myself a whole lot better. Because Miss Ash, she kind of, like, she gave me, like, really good advice, and, you know, whenever I just kind of need to talk about anything, I know I can go to her, and I could really just, like, get all my feelings out, and then, you know, it's just nice to have someone there that will just listen for however long it takes,
Right.
and you just know that they care. So I think she definitely gave me, like, just some, like, as Caden said, like, some confidence in myself, and really made me get to know myself.
Okay. All right, good deal, awesome. Well, I'm very thankful. I feel like it's a tough decision figuring out who to bring in. You know, you got to fall in love with somebody first. You got to see the value in them. You got to have them see the value in your children. I was extremely tough. I was extremely I was offhand. I wanted Miss Ash to fall in love with you guys on her own, so I didn't do a lot of hand holding. I wanted her to find her way and step up to the plate. I was very much throw you into the deep end of the pool and tell you, hey, figure out how to swim out. And if you can swim out, you're who we need. You're who you're supposed to be. And I know for a fact that that's not the way Miss Ash would have preferred I do things. But I needed to know that you were all in. I can handle, you know, like using that same analogy, she figured out a way how to swim out, and then she got out the pool and cussed me out for sure. But she figured out how to swim. You know what I'm saying? And she figured out how to do this thing because it can't be just relying on me. You got to be in this in my children's lives. It's bigger than me. You know, and I don't want to be the through person. I don't want to be the person, you know, I'm leaning on him to lean on y'all. You've got to be able to stand in my children's lives on your own 2 feet. And that was kind of my philosophy. Like I said, would I do it the same way again? Maybe, maybe not. But that's the way I did it. And I'm very fortunate that she swam and you guys are better for it. So,
yeah, I think she definitely, like, compliments our dynamic
For
as
sure.
we had, like, before.
For sure.
Whenever it was, like, Fern Park crew.
Right.
We all, like, obviously are really close, and, you know, I think we just all wanted someone who would really, like, keep that same energy that we all have, like, the energy that we have when we're all together. We definitely wanted someone to, like, match that and boost it even.
Yeah.
So I think Miss Ash was, like, the perfect person. She, like, definitely, like, she just really came in and just matched our vibe a lot well.
Yep, that's awesome. Awesome. Well, I enjoyed this. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, it was really fun.
This was fun. Your first time on the show, podcasting a little bit. And this won't be your last time on the show. We'll have to bring you guys back on for some more fun. Maybe a lighter episode, a sillier episode, or any type of thing. Got to do a college episode for Peach, who's going off to college in a few weeks or whatnot. So, yeah, Tyler's headed in 10th grade, Caden 8th grade. So we'll definitely do this again. But I enjoyed it. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys.
Love you too. This is really fun.
Can I get a happy Father's Day?
Happy Father's Day.
Oh my gosh. Oh
Make
my
sure to
gosh.
just subscribe, like the video,
Hey.
and turn those
Tune
post
in.
notifications on so that you get notified anytime they post a new Small Talking with the Largest episode.
Yep. Love that. Till next time, my name is T Large. These are my beautiful children. This is Small Talking with the Larges. We'll see you on the next episode.
Bye,
Peace.
guys.
Hey.